years ago, probably the early 90s, if not the late 80s, I walked into a craft exhibit near Boone, North Carolina, right off of the Blue Ridge Parkway. And there was a little 3x5 card that was in the gallery, and it said succinctly, art is about thinking, design is about planning, and the third thing, craft is the making. And as an art educator, trying to be able to explain those things to students without going too far, making it too complicated, it's often difficult, and simple is just so beautiful. And so I love the designing and the planning and the thinking and the making. They're all part of what I do. Journaling, I have a whole stack of journals that go back to college, and it's always been a part of who I am. In fact, my master's thesis in art education was journaling as critical thinking. So in this one, I went back at the year that we've been having, and was looking through old journals, and I have always been drawn to Rwanji Zen Garden in Kyoto. And this is a diagram of that I cut out and put out. And I also, it took a lot to, anyway, I got a copy of Will Peterson's essay, Stone Garden, and read that, and I have that on my computer. So thinking about this, John Cage was a big lover of Rwanji, and it's an important part of what he thought. So I was trying to think of ways that I'm always trying to figure out how to put things together. And so I decided to break it down into simple parts. And anyway, I'm going through that process. And I started drawing each of the 5 groupings in Rwanji separately in this journal. And so I'm coming back now to it. This is my contemporary journal that I'm working on. A year ago, January, February show at Artspace Gallery, we had a ceramic artist. Her name was Anna Freeman. And Anna had her pieces, and she glazes hers. And she was using sodium silicate to get a dry surface that she was pressing while it was moist from the inside. It was causing a cracking effect. I started looking for other artists doing that, in particular with what I like to do with my process. Came across a couple and started drawing their work. Patricia Schoen, particularly, she is an artist that lives in Skye, Scotland, the island there. And so I had made some notes about that series. I had thought of a way to join different pieces together, and then I came back years later, this is 6 years later, and started a different way to join them, and mapping all that out, the designing part of it, making notes. I make all kinds of mistakes in the process, and I just love the process because failure is an important part of learning. So I do that, keep notes. I'm simplifying those different parts of the Zen garden that don't look exactly, and I'm doing these more rounded forms. I have an obsession with ovoid forms. I like stacked rocks. I do lots of things, the sacred shields. And so I started experimenting with different ways that I could use this technique with the sodium silicate and keeping that in my journal. And so I've been working on this particular process directly since February, and keeping notes, going back as things mess up. I would do the drawings like they were, and then rounding them out. I've never been to Rwanji, and I'm one of those artists that I like that whole plein air, the idea of not copying from photographs. So I have to take the images and then I have to translate that for me personally to make it my own variation of that concept and that theme to make me happy with the process as I'm working. And my journal is a really important way of going about doing that.